Afternoon. Good afternoon, children. How are you all? I'll tell you something about the story. What are stories basically? And what relief they bring to us. Teaching stories have come down to us through the ages as a vital, intimate way of sharing wisdom. Stories fascinated and soothe the tired minds at the end of a weary day. Our hearts are opened to feel the sorrow and the courage of another person, to experience the world through the eyes of another, and to empathize with their struggle. That is, we enjoy hearing stories, like we try to relieve our sorrows by listening to other people's sorrow and stories. A story about a banyan deer. Once the Buddha was born as a banyan deer. And when he was grown, he became the leader of the herd. He guided his herd wisely and led them to the heart of a secluded forest where sheltered by the giant trees, and they lived free from danger. Then a new king came into power over the land. And above all things, this king, he loved hunting. And as soon as the sun rose, he would mount his horse and lead his men on a furious chase through fields and meadows, forests and glens, shooting his arrows madly, and he would not leave off until the sun had set. Then the wagons rolled back to the palace behind him, filled now with deer, boar, rabbit, pheasant, monkey, leopard, bear, tiger, and lion. And the king was happy. His people, however, were not pleased. Fields had been ruined by the royal hunt. Farmers and merchants had been forced to leave off their work in order to beat the jungles and drive the hidden beast towards the waiting king and his men. Affairs of state, too, lay unattended. So the people determined to bring all this to an end. And they devised a very simple plan. They built a stockade deep in the forest. Now we'll trap a herd or two of deer in the stockade, and the king can come, hunt all he wants, and let him hunt to his heart's content. He won't ruin our fields, he won't force us to leave our shops, and then let him be happy. The stockade was built, and two herds of deer were driven within its walls. The gates were closed, and the delicate animals, charging and wheeling in frantic circles, sought some way out, but there was none. Exhausted at last, they stood trembling, awaiting their fate. And the men left happily to tell the king of their success. And one of the herds that had been captured was the herd of the banyan deer. The banyan deer walked among his herd, sunlight played on his many branched antlers, his black eyes shone, and his muzzle was wet. And the blue sky is overhead, green grass grows at our feet, and he told the others, "Do not give up. Where there is life, there is hope, and I will find a way." And so he strove to ease their fears. Now soon the king arrived to view the newly captured herds. He was very pleased. He strung his bow in preparation for the hunt. Noticing the two deer kings below, he said, "The leaders of both herds are magnificent animals. No one is to shoot them. They shall be spared." And then standing on the wall, looking down over the stockade, he sent his arrows flying into the milling herds. And the deer became frantic, racing wildly. They injured one another with horns and hooves as they sought to escape the deadly rain of arrows. And so it went. Every few days, the king and his courtiers would return to the stockade. And every few days, more of the gentle deer were killed. Many of others were wounded by the flying arrows, and others were injured in the effort to escape. Now the king of the banyan deer met with the leader of the other herd. "Brother," he said, shaking his antlers, head sadly, "we are trapped. I've tried every way, but all are barred against us. The pain our subjects suffer is unbearable, and as you know, when the arrows fly, many get badly hurt just trying to stay alive. Let us hold a lottery. Each day all deer, one day from your herd, and one day from mine." So then the one single deer won on whom the lottery falls will go stand near the wall just below the king, and that one deer must offer itself to be shot. It is a terrible solution, but at least this way we can keep many from needless injury and pain. And the leader of the other herd agreed. So the next day, when the king and his courtiers arrived, they found one trembling deer standing directly below them. Its legs and body were shaking, but it held its head high. "What is this?" said the king. "Ah, these are noble deer indeed. They have chosen that one deer alone shall die rather than that they all should suffer from a hunt. So those dear kings have wisdom." A heaviness descended on the king's heart. "We will accept their terms," he announced, "and from now on, shoot only the one deer that stands below." And unstringing his bow, he descended from the stockade wall and rode back in silence to the palace. That night the king tossed and turned, a radiant deer pacing through his dreams. One day the lot fell on a pregnant deer. She went to her king and the leader of the herd and said, "I will willingly go and fulfill the lottery once my fawn is safely born, but if I go now, both I and my unborn child will die. Please spare me for now. I do not ask for myself, but for the sake of the child that is soon to be born." But the leader of that herd said, "Law is law. I cannot spare you. The lottery has fallen on you and you must die. There are no expectations. Justice demands that you go." In desperation, she ran to the Banyan Deer. She fell on her knees before him and begged for his aid. He listened quietly, observing her with wide and gentle eyes. "Rise, sister," said the Banyan Deer, "and go free. You are right. The terms of the lottery require that only one need to die. Therefore, you shall be freed from the lottery until your fawn is born. I will see that it is so done." Too overjoyed for words, the grateful doe bowed and then bounded away. The Banyan Deer king rose to his feet. There was no other he could send to take her place, so he had spared her. Therefore, he himself must replace her. How could it be otherwise? He walked calmly with great dignity through his browsing herd. The courtiers were waiting with bows drawn atop the stockade, and when they saw it was the deer king who had come to stand below, they called out, "O king of the Banyan Deer, you know our king has spared you. Why are you here?" "I have come so that two others need not die. Now shoot, you have your work and I have mine." But lowering their bows, they sent a message to the king. "Your Majesty, come with all speed to the stockade." Not long after, the king arrived. "What is it?" he called. "Why have you summoned me?" "Majesty, look." Dismounting from his horse, the king hurried up the rough wooden steps. The Banyan Deer stood below. The Deer King and Human King looked at one another. "Banyan King," said the King of Men at last, "I know you. I have seen you gliding through the forest of my dreams. Why are you here? Have I not freed you from my hunt?" "Great King," replied the Banyan Deer, "what ruler can be free if the people suffer?" So today a doe with fawn asked for my aid. The lottery had fallen on her, and both she and her unborn fawn were to die. The lottery requires that only one shall die. I shall be that one. I shall take her place, and the lottery shall be fulfilled. This is my right and my duty as a king. And a stone rolled from the king's heart. No king should care for the least of his subjects. It is a lesson I have been long in the learning, but today, through your sacrifice, you have made it clear to me. So I shall give you a gift, a teacher's fee for the lesson. You have taught me. You and your whole herd are freed. None of you shall be hunted again. Go and live in peace. But the Banyan Deer said, Great king, that is indeed a noble gift, but I cannot leave yet. May I speak further? Speak on, noble deer. O king of men, if I depart to safety with my own herd, will that not mean that the remaining herd shall simply suffer all the more? Each day you shall kill only them, while I desire, above all things, the safety of my people. I cannot buy it at the cost of increasing the suffering of others. Do you understand? The human king was stunned. What? He exclaimed, Would you then risk your own and your herd's freedom for others? Yes, said the Banyan Deer. I will. Think of their anguish. Great king, imagine their sufferings and then let them too go free. The king of men paused and he pondered. At last he lifted his head and smiled. Never have I seen such nobility or such a resolute concern. How can I refuse you? You shall have your wish. The other herd too shall go free. And now can you go off with your own herd and be at peace? But the Banyan Deer answered, No, great king, I cannot. I think of all the other wild four-footed creatures. I have lived my life surrounded by dangers and by fears. How could I live in peace, knowing the terrors they must endure? I beg you, mighty king, have pity on them, and there can be no peace unless they too are free. The king of men was again astonished. He had never imagined such a thing. He thought, and slowly the truth of the Banyan Deer's word grew clear to him. It was true, he realized. There is no real peace unless its benefits extends to all. So you are right, great deer, said the king of men at last. Never again in all my realm shall any four-footed creature be slain. They are all freed from my hunt. Rabbit, boar, bear, lion, leopard, tiger, deer, all. Never again shall they fall to my huntsman's arrows. So my teacher, have you now found the peace? But the Banyan Deer said, No, great king, I have not. What, my lord, of the defenseless ones of the air? And the birds? Great king, live surrounded by a net of danger. Stones and arrows shall greet them. Whenever they fly, they shall fall from the skies like a rain throughout. Hardly be imagined. Oh, great king, I beg you, let them go free. Release them also. Great one, said the king of men, you drive a hard bargain and are determined. It seems to make farmers of us all. But yes, I shall free the birds. They may now fly freely throughout my realm. No man shall hunt them again. Then may they build their nest in peace. And now you satisfied? Are you at last at peace? Great king, answered the Banyan Deer. Think, if you will, of the silent ones. For them who will, while they swim the lakes, rivers, streams of your land. Hooks, nets, and spears will be ever poised about them. How can I live in peace while they abide in such danger? Great king, I beg you, spare them as well. Noble being, said the king of men, tears trickling down his cheeks. Compassionate one. Never before have I been moved to think in such a way. But yes, I do so agree. The fish go out of my kingdom, and they too shall be free. They shall swim throughout my land, and no one shall kill them again. And now, all of you assembled courtiers and attendants, announced the king, hear my words. This is my proclamation. See that it is posted throughout the land from this day forth. All beings in my realm shall be recognized as my own dear subjects. None shall be trapped, hunted, or killed. This is my lasting decree. So do it, that it is fulfilled. Now, tell me, noble one, he said, turning to the Banyan Deer once more, are you at peace? Flocks of birds flew overhead, birds singing among the nearby trees. Deer grazed calmly on the green. Yes, said the Banyan Deer. Now I am at peace. And he leaped up, kicking like a fawn. He leap for joy, sheer joy. He had saved them all. So children, what do we learn? That if you are a king or if you have the power, you should be thinking about your subjects. Okay? You should be kind to them. Don't leave a part of your subjects suffering and a part of your subjects enjoying. You should be taking care of all your subjects, that they should not undergo any kind of suffering. Thank you.